We're in. It's Friday. We are here. Mama Smiley, is that you?
That's me, Alex.
Are you sure?
How you doing?
Are you here right now?
I'm here.
Is it really you?
It's me.
Okay.
I
just wanted to make sure. It was you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It's another Friday night here into the Morphin Grid. Proud to have everyone here tonight. It is Saturday night for Fire Girl. You're right, Fire Girl, because you are. Yeah. I mean, you're where our guest is from. So you're way out there. It is Saturday afternoon. Welcome everyone once again to the to this Friday night crazy show that we all love. Mama Smiley, what's new with you? Did I catch you off guard? You were looking down. What were you doing?
I was typing.
Oh,
Hales was talking to me, so I was responding to her.
Okay, I believe you. You don't have to get all crazy on me right now. Come on, man.
Oh, it was a long week at work. Now I have a nice long weekend.
Well, I'm glad.
I'm just gonna chill.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here, man. We got some beats playing in the background right now. I'm excited. I want to tell you guys right off the bat. I want to get right into it. I want to tell you a little bit about this. Our guest here. If you guys don't know, we have Tessa Rao. She is the newest Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. I'll still call him Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. There's always going to be Mighty Morphin to me because that really isn't. That's just the title. It's not like, oh, it's that season. To me, she's a Power Ranger for life, right? The Green Ranger. She's here. We love the green lights. Look at you, Mama Smiley. You're getting love on the chat for your green lights. You say hi. You say thank you. Am I ragging on you already? Too early? Is it too early?
You're yell at me again for looking down.
I would never yell at you. Anyway, so we're going to be talking to Tessa Rao, born and raised on the North Island of New Zealand. She's an actress and singer who recently returned from Los Angeles, from what I read here. I could be wrong. She's going to yell at me pretty soon when she comes live on the TV set here. She graduated from the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. She has been acting and performing arts as long as she can remember. This is what she is. This is what she does. I'm just reading along, people. I'm not making things up. And I am super duper excited to be bringing to you guys the one and only Tessa Rao. Tessa, say hello to everyone. You're in.
Hello.
Big round of applause.
Me blush. You know so much about me. Oh my goodness.
I kind of stalked you. Is that okay? Is that okay? Like, is that doable?
We live in a world of stalking. I stalk pretty much everyone in the world that I find on Instagram. I just start scrolling.
Oh my God.
So that's all right. I don't have shame about it. That's all good.
She's like, I'm not ashamed of it. I do it. Everyone does it.
Yeah. I feel like there's a line, right? Like there's a line where it's normal stalking and then maybe it gets a bit creepy. Like the biggest thing is the double tap, right? You've just got to be careful not to double tap those 2-year-old Instagram posts. Which I've done before for sure.
I agree. So Tessa, you have a fan base here. They're in the chat. They're saying hello to you. I know you probably can't see it. But they're on there. They're saying hello. Guys, I'm
sending all my love to all of you.
Oh my God. That's just, look at you already taking over. This is the Tessa show.
Yeah.
So Mama Smiley and I are going to just leave, guys. I hope you, this is
have a good night, everybody. I miss you all.
Surprise, Tessa. We're going to let you do the show by yourself.
Already getting in trouble for talking too much.
No. This is why you're here. You're our guest. Big shout out to everyone in the chat. Hales, Craig, Edward, Fire Girl. What is that? Andy? Anaboko. Yeah. So shout out to all of you and thank you for being here tonight on a Friday night and a Friday or Saturday afternoon for you, Tessa. Tessa, let's get this show off the road here. Or on the road, off the road. Look, I like off-roading, by the way. So,
off-roading, right?
Yeah. For you, can you tell us a little bit about I did mention you're in the, you went to dramatic art school and all that stuff. Tell us how did you get into that field? Did you grow up and you immediately knew, hey, I want to be an actress? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, what got me into acting was actually singing first. So I started singing when I was 3. and we started like doing like little singing competitions and stuff when I was 3. But I think from what my parents say, was kind of singing and dancing and moving around from before I could kind of talk. So clearly I wanted to be the center of attention from a very young age. And that kind of moved into like classical singing and learning that kind of stuff. And then that gradually moved into like school plays, musicals, musicals within the town, that kind of stuff. And I think what hooked me to the singing, as well as just because I love singing, was the performing aspect of it. Was being up on a stage, commanding a room, telling a story. And I think, for me, it kind of just felt like it was something that I wanted to do from a very, very young age. And then it was about kind of shifting that dream or that kind of that thought into something that was a reality of what I wanted to do as a career, which is hard sometimes because, it's not the most easy career to get into. Luckily I had my family support, so that kind of made everything a lot easier. But I think from a very young age, I was like, I love this. I want to do this. I think I can do this.
So, my question to you is your how does one, in your situation being out there, how is the television and film industry out there compared to here in the US, right? Because, it could be overly saturated. I know here in the States, California is, and Los Angeles is a city of dreams, right? It's still very hard to try to get in there. You made it, my friend. So congrats to you. But can you tell us a little bit of the
Thanks.
process of having to get to that step, right? Because you're in a totally different country, Yeah,
6,000 miles away. I mean, I was incredibly fortunate in a lot of areas in terms of my family's support and stuff like that. I think it makes it a lot easier when you have your family backing you and even just telling you that you can do it, let alone being any sort of, financial support, emotional support, physical support. I don't know if I would have been able to do it if it weren't for them. So I credit a lot of that to their support. But I mean, in terms of the industry out here, I would say it's a lot more booming nowadays than it was kind of even sort of 5 years ago. It's getting more and more a place that people are filming, which is awesome, and projects are happening. For me, I'd done some film in New Zealand, but a lot of what I did before I moved to the States and was studying there was theatre. So that was kind of what got me into the acting area, and that's not as fruitful financially. So that was kind of a side thing that I was doing as well as having jobs. And then after I was in LA and studied and came back, that's when I was like, oh wow, there's so much happening in New Zealand now. And I didn't even realize, like, it was kind of felt like while I was away, that's when it started really getting busy. So it is hard still, even though there are fewer people, there are also fewer projects. And I just couldn't believe that I, traveled all the way over to the States, lived there, studied there, worked there. And then the job I ended up getting, which was my first big role, was filming in the country I grew up in and was born in. So that was kind of a cool little twist of fate.
Yeah, that's incredible. And I just want to put it out there. Anybody on the chat right now, if you have any questions for Tessa, please feel free to tag Smiley Girl on the chat. Any of our mods, they're the ones with the little green sword. If you want to tag them, they'll make sure they alert us to any of your questions. Tessa, are you okay answering some questions when they do come in from the chat? Okay, cool. Because she kind of told me she wasn't answering any of my questions, guys. So that was that. Oh.
Don't believe him.
She was like, oh.
Twist my words.
She's like, I don't like this guy. Where is Dawn?
I think actually what I said was I would prefer to do this interview without you.
That was the words, guys. That was the words.
Yeah, he's trying to push him out.
Yeah. So let's not,
Girl power!
Best use to the sound. Best use to the sound. I love that.
This is what I get myself into. Tessa, I'm so glad you're here. But yeah, so coming from from there to here. Now, did you get into anything outside of the world of filming and acting? Did you like, are you into sports? Did you do anything else while growing up that you thought, oh, maybe if this acting thing doesn't work, I can do this?
Yeah, I come from a family of doctors and scientists. So,
Wow.
yeah, I have a very, very smart, driven family that I'm incredibly proud of. And so both of my older siblings, my sister's a doctor and my brother's actually a rocket scientist, which is kind of weird to say.
Wow.
So for me, it was always, if I don't do this, I'll be a doctor. I'd be a doctor. I loved science when I was in school. In retrospect, I don't think I could be a doctor. Not the kind of doctor that like my sister is going to be, for example. Like, I think I'm too emotional. I think doctors have to have like a level of, obviously, like they have to be compassionate and kind and all those things, but they have to be able to separate themselves, right, from when like things aren't going as well or not mistakes are made, but like problems arise.
Right.
And I think I just get way too emotional about it and feel really sad and cry with the patients.
No, yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Mama Smiley, really quickly, I'm enjoying your story and I want to ask you more about your family here. Not too much. I don't want to give me social security numbers and stuff.
I hope they're not mad that I said that, eh?
Yeah. Mama Smiley, we have some questions that are coming in. Did you happen to check them out? Go ahead.
Yes, we have it from Andy27. He says, hi, Tessa. My question is, what has been your favorite episode that you filmed on Dinofury so far?
I love Andy. Hi. Okay. This is so hard.
She's not allowed to say, guys. She's not allowed to say.
Yeah, so I would
say
one of my favorites, a couple of my favorites are in season 2, so I won't say those. Of the episodes that are out.
Every episode.
Honestly, I really, really loved episode 12 and 13. Like, that was a really cool arc for Izzy, and I really enjoyed filming those. And because they were in the same block of episodes, it was all kind of together, so I got to really enjoy that process of Izzy kind of discovering the things that she discovers in those episodes and other characters discovering what they discover in those episodes. That was really fun. And getting to work with Jackie even more so in episode 13, if I'm allowed to say that, it's just cool to be able to like gush about her, because for so long I wasn't allowed to talk about the fact that like I was going to be working with her more, she was just in the episode a couple times at the beginning. And so now I get to say how amazing of an actress she is and how wonderful she is to work with. So
that's awesome. And I mean, we're coming up to the new episodes now, 12 and then 13 next week. But next week is when they all drop on Netflix. So, it's going to be out there, ladies and gents. All right. Let's see. Go ahead. Yeah.
Season 1 finale. Sorry. That's the other episode I loved filming. So cool. Season 1 finale.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the one I was not in. Let's, because I wasn't in any of them. Okay. Tessa's giving me a look. Why is she giving me a look? She's never coming back on. She's never coming back on our show.
I'm gonna have to start my own streaming.
Let's see here. Let's see, Tessa. What have you learned? This is from Craig O'Mac. What have you learned from the past Rangers about your current roles?
From the past Rangers series?
Series, yeah. Did you study any of it and apply it to your roles now, or did you want to start fresh as your own?
Yeah, if I'm completely honest and transparent, I didn't really take too much because of how fast of a process it was from when I auditioned for did my final audition for Izzy and then got the role was probably less than a week. It was a really, really sudden process. And so then once I got the role and was doing it and was getting the scripts and stuff, I felt like I didn't have time to get enough information from previous things to be able to have it inform my choices in an effective way. You know what I mean? I felt like I would be doing things that weren't as informed or were just snippets of things that actually didn't really make sense. And so for me, it was more about finding who Izzy was from the page, from the scripts that I was given, from the work we did in pre-production with our acting coach, and the relationships as a Ranger team that we had together, that was really the biggest part for me before we started shooting that kind of helped me find Izzy.
Nice. Mama Smiley, I think Anna Boko just threw one out there if you want to read that one.
Right. And Andy had a couple others, but we'll take care of Anna Boko first. Knowing that you are a fan of Power Rangers as a kid, did you ever thought you were being on the show or get chosen for the show, that there are a lot of big shoes to fill?
No. So Power Rangers wasn't really on New Zealand television when I was growing up. There was a period of time where it was banned because kids in playgrounds in New Zealand didn't really seem to understand that you only kick the bad guys. You don't kick other children on the playground. So if anyone's watching, that's true.
Wait, so I cannot kick anyone. Got it. Let me write this down.
You can't. I've told you this like 7 times now.
Sorry, Tessa. I don't read your messages all the time because I know they're always telling me.
Good. Okay.
But to me, I've always said this. It says everything about how huge the franchise is, that I did not grow up watching Power Rangers, but I knew probably from before I can remember. If you'd said, do you know Power Rangers or what's Power Rangers? I could have told you immediately. And that's insane to me. Like what other shows that you haven't seen would you know? Apart from maybe like Doctor Who, you know what I mean? Like
right,
that's it. And so for me, it was like, that was a huge part of it. And then to answer your second question, no, I certainly didn't. I knew Zoe Robbins, who was in Ninja Steel.
Yes. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah,
and
I
met her, I believe it must have been in the hiatus between when she was filming. It was like the Christmas, New Year's break is when I met her. And she told me that she'd been filming. And I remember going, oh, that would be so cool, but I'm never going to get cast as that. Like, I remember having that thought going, yeah, but I'm never going to get cast as a Ranger. Like, I'd love it, but it's not ever going to happen. And then it did. And I was like, wait, what? And so I think I had to deal with a bit of imposter syndrome to begin with, of being like, am I meant to, is like Ashton Kutcher going to walk out or Dak Shepard going to come out and be like, punked, this ain't you, girlfriend, like, nah. And then after a couple of weeks, it was like, oh no, I think it's real. I think I've got this role.
It's real.
This is actually my life now. So yeah, very huge shoes to fill.
That's so exciting. That's so really cool to hear, because I grew up a fan, and I had a scholarship for musical theater and drama, and I sang, I danced, I acted, yes, and I never took it seriously. In my head, I was like, I'm never gonna be the next Antonio Banderas. Why am I gonna do this? And so I did stage performances, Grease, and so on, and blah blah blah. But anyway, just the fact that to hear that you did that and you got this far, like you really put a lot of time and effort into this is incredible. Now my path is a little bit different because I went to the Marine Corps. I was like, oh cool, let me join the Marines, and
which is like so cool, by the way. Mad respect.
Thank you.
So much respect.
Yeah. It kind of led me a little bit the other way from filming. Right, I went and fought a war for a couple of years. Almost the same thing. But yeah, but here I am now, years later. I do short films and stuff, and I enjoy it. I love it. I podcast, I do this. Like, I'm very, very involved with the entertainment industry just because it's something that I love, and I'm not doing it for money. Half of the time I'm filming and doing things because I love the nature of it. And I'm like, hey, if I can be behind the scenes or whatever, put me into it, So yeah, so I think I think it's so cool. So cool. What you're doing. You said you had one more question, Mama Smiley, before we continue the questions by me.
Got a few more. Let's see.
Let's ask one now. Let's ask one now, and then we'll continue in like 10 minutes with those, if you don't mind.
From Rivers, one of our biggest supporters here.
Yeah.
In what way, if any, is Izzy most like Tessa in real life?
Good question. Great question. I would say I'm also quite, like, I'd say that we're quite similar in that if it's something that we're passionate about, we care about it so much. And it's like, we're so focused and determined to achieve it and do it the best we can. And I also think that I feel similar pressure maybe that Izzy does from her surroundings, from her family, from her town to achieve the highest. And that's not necessarily the fault of her family or her town. That's kind of brought on by her at times. And I think that that's something that's quite similar to me. Like, I think I put a lot of pressure on myself to kind of be perfect and get everything right all the time, and sometimes need reminding that that's actually not always the most important thing, like Izzy does. So probably that.
I do have a question now. Where in Power Ranger canon, where is Izzy from? Did they ever say?
What do you mean?
Like, is she from like Los Angeles, Angel Grove?
I think she was born and raised in Pine Ridge.
Pine Ridge.
Like that's where the show is.
Because I know you. I know Chance was Chance also then in Pine Ridge. Because I know you guys are step brother and sis, right? Yeah.
So like when we discussed this to begin with, it was discussed that they became a family when Izzy and Harvey were both very young.
Got it.
Like very, very young, like sort of toddlerly age. And so I would say that either I moved to Pine Ridge or Harvey moved to Pine Ridge with our subsequent family members, or we were both in Pine Ridge and then our parents fell in love.
Right. Well, that's how the way it works.
You're like, ew.
Gamer Oirin says hello, Tessa. Gamer says hello, basically. Thank you, everyone who's tuning in right now. If you guys are new to the channel, thank you for coming on and for following and everything. Yes, as Mama Smiley just mentioned, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you, Tessa. Moving on here now, you're in. You've made it. You've put a lot of hard work into what you do, and now you're in the big time. How did that transition come about for you? Did you have to come out here to the States for anything, or was everything done at home for when you started?
Rangers specifically?
Yeah.
No, everything was here. So
Wow, okay.
You were correct. You said that I would yell at you if you were wrong, but you were actually right. So that's why I didn't yell. I did move back from Los Angeles.
That was for you, by the way.
Excuse me. You're so rude.
I'm sorry. That was.
No, I love it. It's great. There it is. That's the one. I did actually move from Los Angeles in March of last year.
In the middle of a pandemic, you just.
Well, it was because. Said pandemic. Okay. Yeah. So I didn't actually want to leave. I had found out, I believe it was 46 hours before I left, that I was leaving. It had kind of been a discussion that I'd had with my parents leading up to that. Like, is this something that I should be doing? And I was very much like, it's fine. Okay, look, I can still work in Los Angeles. COVID's not even going to be a thing. Like, it's fine.
That was what we all said. You said what the world was meant.
I was wrong.
2 weeks and we'll be fine.
As usual, my mother was right. She annoyingly seems to be right about everything, even though I don't want her to be sometimes. And as much as I think it really pained them to have to tell me, it was like, no, you need to come home. I know that your time in America isn't technically done, but it should be because of A, B, and C, So there were a lot of reasons that meant that it was the right decision, even though it was the worst at the time. And so, flew back in March, did like isolation, quarantine. We had a lockdown almost as soon as I got back. And then from there, in like May, I think, was my first audition for Rangers. So technically, had I stayed in the States, I would have been in the States during May till probably like August-ish. And so had I not come back, I might not have got that audition. Right. And those two auditions then ages on were what got me the audition that ended up being what I got Izzy through, right? So I have to kind of credit, I guess, COVID maybe for me coming home and getting this job, which is kind of crazy.
It wasn't all bad. By the way,
everything happens for a reason, I guess.
Yeah, 100%. Rivers, thank you so much for that, man. People couldn't believe what I just said before about me being in all that acting stuff. We'll talk about that on another episode, guys. So right now, this is all about Tessa.
Last night. Yeah, enough talking about Alex.
Talking about Tessa. Yeah. Tessa, so we know your success with Power Rangers. We know that you're one of the leads on there. Kind of like, I'm just gonna skim through this real quick because we've covered this in other interviews with like specifically the one with Kat and Nakia. The ripping of the skirt, the coming out moment, You also have, no pun intended, but you also do have a coming out soon. You're playing the first ever. Yeah, you like that, huh? I do this. I do this for a living. I do this for a living, guys.
Clearly. Wow.
Yeah. Thank you. One quick question, and we'll continue. I want to continue talking about like other projects, other things that you've probably wanted to do, before Power Rangers. Like maybe what were you working on before you got this gig, or were you even working on anything? But for you, really quickly, just to touch upon this, how does it feel to represent the LGBTQ plus community? I know we've asked this before in Cat and Nakia, but I'd love to get that answer from you again, because it's a big deal. I don't think people understand this. The inclusion that Power Rangers does and the diversity that it holds is worlds beyond any other show that I've seen growing up. So how does that feel for you?
I mean, it's kind of, I don't know if there will ever be words for it. Like I've said this a couple of times now, but it just is so true. Like it's the reason I want to be an actor, continue to want to be an actor, wanted to be an actor, was to be a storyteller, was to tell the stories that, are important to me. I'm a huge comedy fan, like I love funny things too, but even within comedy stuff, I think it has this ability to reach out to people and tell stories. And like, I feel like shows like, I don't know if you guys have seen Ted Lasso at all, but like a show like that, for example, I've always loved shows like that you don't necessarily feel like you're learning anything to begin with, and then boom, you actually are. And oh my God, your mind has shifted and your opinions have changed. You didn't even realize it was happening. And I've always loved that about theater, film, TV, the ability to kind of show people different experiences. And to be able to do that in my first role and fill this, position that I think has been a long time coming, is an honor. I'm not even really able to like talk properly about it. I just end up rambling because it's just so cool and is so important and necessary. And I just couldn't be prouder to get to be a part of it. Like it's all that it really is. Like I only can credit the writers and Simon for it. It wasn't my choice, but I could not be more thankful that it was made and I get to be a part of it.
That's awesome. And let me tell you something. I told Smiley when the series began months ago, I said, "Hey, Smiley, I got a hunch. I got a hunch."
Yep. You did.
I don't know, man. Just feel me out on this. And I didn't mean it in any ill way or in any ill intention type of style. I was just more or less, I spoke to her behind the scenes and I said, "Hey, Mama Smiley, I feel like something's coming." And I think, and let me tell you what it is. I think she's going to be our very first quote unquote gay ranger. And she was like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, I just have that feeling inside deep in my bones." And yeah, lo and behold, look, I mean, months later, it became a reality. I'm
also really proud of how they told that story, like it's obviously about to come out, so I won't say too much, but like for those that have seen it will know, like I think the way that they introduce it being a thing and the way that they tell that story is just so well done and so important. Not like this, like, oh my goodness, this is such like, what? No, she's not, like it's just, that's not, I don't think that we're in a time anymore that's the truth of actually what a lot of people's stories are. So it meant a lot that was the way they chose to tell it on the show. Yeah.
And you guys were dropping hints for a while. There was little droplets of things happening in the storyline. And I said this to Simon as well. I said, this is the first season, in a long time that has continuity. You guys, Power Rangers is known that, hey, a monster comes and attacks, end of story. Next week, another monster comes and attacks, end of story. And I told this to Mama Smiley. I said, "Mama, check this out, Tessa. I feel this in my bones." I'm like, this show has it. Yes. I can feel the story just continuing to move along. And she's like, and I said it a couple times here on the show. I think it was just, I'm in this business. I love this business. And then to watch it as a fan as well makes me extremely happy to see what's you guys have done with the, not to mention Beast Morphers didn't do anything wrong, but you guys have stepped that up, which is great with the storytelling because it was missing that. Tell us a little bit now that, we know this, guys, and we'll get to your questions. Mama Smiley is making sure that she not jots them down, but keeps an eye on them. Tell me, before you got the gig, what were you working on? Is there anything that you were aspiring to get on? Was there something in the works that you could have said that you had to say, hey, I just got a gig. I got to turn this down?
Couple of auditions, maybe like near the end there, that were like, hey, do you want to do this audition? And actually, I can't because I've got the gig, which was quite a cool thing to be able to do, if I'm honest. Like, never cool to turn down an audition, but was really nice to have that reasoning behind it. There wasn't anything, like I say, like, because it was such a sudden move back to New Zealand, I'd been working on some stuff in the States. I'd just finished filming a feature, kind of an indie feature, sort of psychological thriller type film, when I was in the States, and then I was going to be doing something else, but then I had to move back. So that was kind of went down the drain. And then once I was in New Zealand, after lockdown, I decided to get a job. And so I started working at a supermarket for 6 months, and then I got the job, and I got Power Rangers. So I'd been doing some auditions here and there, but nothing had really panned out. And I was kind of just like trucking along in my hometown, trying to save up a bit of money to get out of my hometown.
And let me tell you something. Working at a supermarket, guys, that it's a job. It's making money. I always say this: do what you can to make money and get ahead in life, right? And secondly, also, you did it through COVID, so you were in the front lines working with all of this happening around us. You know?
Yeah, I mean, there were people that had been. I luckily didn't have to go through it in level 4, which would have been even more. That's our like highest level here. Once I got the job, we were already, I think, in level 3, maybe level 2. So I didn't have to do as much of the intense stuff as like the employees that I joined had to. So like props to them, and to like all essential workers on the front lines, just by the way, I think it's important to say. But also, like, you learn as an actor, you learn from every experience you have with another human being, right? And working at, like, I didn't expect this to happen, but working at a supermarket meant that I got to meet and see a huge range of human beings every single day, and actually also just be able to communicate with them when I normally, if I'd just been in that supermarket buying something, I wouldn't have spoken to any of them. But every single one that came through my checkout, I talked to, I learned about, I met some incredibly interesting characters of human beings, and I met some really lovely human beings, and I met some not so nice human beings, and every single one of those experiences, I think, helped me be a better actor, a better performer, and honestly a better human being, because like you learn stuff working in those kinds of jobs. And I had similar jobs in the past, but this was by far like, I'm so grateful I had that job.
Yeah, and
I'm very, very grateful that I got Power Rangers, but I'm really glad that I ended up working at a supermarket for a while.
Of course. And by the way, shout out to Katie. She's not on the chat. She's working right now. She works at, she's like almost a manager at a supermarket. She's a family member here on the show. We started this show or this channel during the pandemic. She joined, and she's been a huge, person here with us. And we explained to her, she is a frontline worker. Like, you work through hell. Like, it was bad. Like, I couldn't come in through my door without hand washing my groceries to come inside. Like,
insane.
Yeah.
And like the panic buying, man. Yes. The panic buying, even here, even in New Zealand, like incredible amounts of panic buying. And I just can't, again, luckily I kind of got around that. I didn't have to deal with that, but I can't imagine what that must have been like. Even when we went back into a level, and I already started working at the supermarket, the first morning I had the opening shift, and it opened at like 7, and there was a line outside from like 6:30, and people rushed in, and it was like two staff members on at 7:00, and just people after people, and from then it was just busy. And that was in New Zealand, in a small town, at like level 2 or level 3. It wasn't even a high level, so I can't imagine what it must have been like in bigger towns at higher levels. It must have been insane. So like major respect
for
to everyone.
Sure. Yeah. And shout out to you, Fire Girl, for working in a supermarket for 10 years, which is incredible on its own. Like, your customer service is a hard job, dude. Like, working with other humans, like, I can barely like talk to myself in the mirror. But yeah, and you guys have to put up with me tonight. So, and anybody who's probably listening to this,
I got to put up with them every day.
Anybody who's listening to
Oh,
this.
lucky.
Oh, wait, was that sarcastic? Hold on.
No, it wasn't. I'm
That
trying
was
to be nice
sarcasm,
to you.
guys. That was sarcasm. Tessa, the Green Ranger,
I can't win.
No, it's okay. But yeah, and if anybody's listening to this on the podcast, please also feel free to join us here on Twitch at twitch.tv Press Record Productions. But let's get back to some questions from our audience here. Mama Smiley, if you don't mind.
Which has been your favorite villain and why on Dinofury?
I can't say.
I think
Guys.
we know who it
The
was.
answer to this.
She can't say it, but I will. It was me. It was me. I'm the
was
biggest
you.
villain here, guys. You see how she's treating me?
100% are.
Told you.
Sorry, you deserve
He's
that.
definitely big.
There is a villain, and he, she, they.
Ooh.
So cool. I don't want to say the particular gender. So cool. The costume, the like human being that's in the suit that does it, or in the costume that does it, is amazing. Just this villain is so cool, and I can't wait for people to see he, she, them, her, him, them.
I'm gonna.
I'm going to ask you something.
I'm so glad that I
Is it a
have you.
blast from the past?
I don't think so.
Okay, so then it wasn't. Okay, that's what I'm thinking.
Oh, no, hold on. I'm going to look it up. I don't want to lie to you. I don't want, because what will happen is if I say no and then it is, I'll get into so much trouble.
So while she's doing this, thanks Hales for throwing me under the bus. I love this. Tessa for special guest host, please. She will definitely get along with the craziness. Wow.
Yes.
Jeez.
Yes.
I'm also very glad
I get. That's what it is.
I'm also very happy that I get to talk to you after the camera shut off, because then I can know who this villain is. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna have to ask you. I'm never gonna say a word. I promise.
I feel like this. Oh, yeah. See, I look up this character on Google and nothing comes up.
Okay, great. That's good then.
So I'm feeling
Original.
like it's not. Yeah, I'm feeling like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look
I'm
too,
so
guys.
excited.
I'm gonna look too. What else do we have, Mama Smiley? I know I saw a couple questions coming through here. I don't want to miss anyone.
Let's see. Let's try to go back to the top again. Because there's a lot of other things coming up here too.
You know what? MP Davies Gaming, by the way, thank you for becoming a subscriber here on the channel. I really appreciate you. She, I don't know, just Davies, says, no spoilers, but given the season has finished in the UK, I can honestly say that the continuity was fantastic. I especially like how the creative team has definitely nailed it this season with the supporting characters. Some of the best in the whole of Power Rangers, in my opinion.
Our whole team, man, they're just I could not. Every single one of them, I love.
Hale said it's
Every
in
single
mucus.
one.
It's mucus, right? That's who it is.
Oh,
Don't lie to mucus.
oh my gosh, no, mucus 100% is my favorite. Mucus is 100% my favorite.
Mucus is
I'm
my
so
favorite
sorry.
too.
Okay, yeah. How did I forget it? Oh, how did I forget about me? Because I'm a terrible person. No, okay.
Yeah.
So apart from this other one, 1000% mucus.
I love
Best villain.
mucus.
First time
So
she said
funny.
it's slime time. Oh, and she attached. Okay.
She's so funny.
All right, here we go. What's something about this show that you will always remember?
The team, the people that I got to meet, not just obviously 100% the Rangers, the actors, of course, but also the crew, the creative team, the production team, every single human being that I got to meet on that set during and post-production were so kind, so hardworking, cared so much for the people around them and what we were creating. It's what I love about film, is that we're all people that have completely different skills, completely different strengths, and we're all working towards this one common goal, right? And for my first big thing that was a long period of time, and I got the amazing opportunity to be a lead on it, was I couldn't have been more happy with the people that I got to work with. So 100%
and the stunt team who's been there since '93.
They are insane, incredible, so much fun, so like disciplined and hardworking. They put me to shame. Like every time I would see them work, I'd be like, I need to talk less and work harder.
Wait, really quickly, did you, Charles Wolfwood wants to know, did you have to watch any of the old Sentai footage at all? Did they sit you guys down to kind of understand what was going on, or was it something where you guys just did your own thing? Because that's a very good question that just came in.
No, I mean, it was in our scripts. So like when we did table reads and stuff, we'd go through that, and you knew the like Sentai version, the Sentai footage was underlined, so you knew that like the underlined part that's going to be from here, even if it's like our voices, it's going to be this footage sort of thing. So, but apart from that, no, there were some times where like one of our stunt directors, second unit directors, would show us footage here and there, but I wouldn't say it was a common thing to show us before we shot anything. No.
Okay, cool. No, there you go. You got your answers, guys. And Andy, one more time, says, this is not a question. I just wanted to say that I think that Tessa is absolutely amazing. It's been so awesome watching you on Power Rangers. You've been such an amazing, great Green Ranger. And I'm so happy that you were chosen to be our first female Green Ranger. Oh, man. Round of applause. Round of applause for that. Look at that.
Oh,
look at
stop
that.
It. Oh, my goodness. There are so many people here. Wow. Who's clapping?
Guys, settle down. Jeez. Yeah. My producer's yelling at me off screen over here. I don't get it.
Thank you, John. Yeah.
In all seriousness, though, thank you so much. Yeah.
We're trying. All right. So here we go. I do want to get into a little bit of a trivia session with you here, Tessa. Are you okay with some trivia? Are you a good trivia person?
I'm terrible.
You'll be fine.
I do a quiz with my family every week, like a Zoom quiz with my family every week, because we all live in different parts of the country, and I consistently come last. Actually, not even necessarily come last. I consistently just don't win. And usually come last. So I would say that the answer generally is no, I'm not too good at trivia, but let's see how we go.
Yeah, I like that. Let's do it. All right. Let's pull out the old phone here, the old dial tone phone thing.
Okay.
I do have some good questions here. We got another 15 minutes, so we might as well just throw them at you. Ladies and gentlemen, you can catch her every single Saturday morning on Nickelodeon, up until next week when she goes live on Netflix, and then it's done for. Then everyone could just watch on Netflix. All right, let me see where. Oh, there it is. There's these questions I was looking for. Boom. All right, these are very easy. Like they're just like you can't miss these. And I didn't prep her for it, even though she was like, are these, how's that trivia thing? And I was like, it's going to suck.
Let's not talk too soon.
It's going to be the worst thing you've ever been a part of. All right.
I'm going to get so much hate if I get them all wrong.
No, this is going to be fun.
No, not at all.
Yeah. So the first question here is like, she's already Googling, by the way, who played the original Green Ranger?
Jason David Frank.
All right, there you go.
I was going to get it wrong.
Wait, but what was?
I almost said Tommy.
Yes, yeah, but that's good because that's what, either or would have been good. Now you guys are the season following Beast Morpher. So Tessa, for number 2, who is the Red Beast Morpher Ranger?
Daniels. It starts with D.
There we go. Alex tries to make it sound easier, adds the anxiety.
I'm actually getting really hot.
Oh my god.
Getting really.
So let's keep on here. We're going to do like 4 or 5. So,
okay.
Which of these colors has Tommy not been as a ranger? All right, here we go.
Okay.
Red, blue, green, or white?
Okay, I know he's been green and white. I'm going to say blue.
There you go.
Yes.
Wow. Why am I even asking you these? You know every single one.
Watch me get the next one wrong.
No. I'm not. I'm trying to make sure that. Don't get nervous. Don't get nervous. Don't get nervous. I just don't want to make them too easy because I don't want to. Yeah.
Oh, don't.
Here we go. Here's a. Oh my God! I can't. Okay. Yeah. I mean, this is a big one. Power Ranger fans know this one. Ready? When not fighting as a Power Ranger, what did Trini, the Yellow Ranger, do for fun? And they made an episode about this. And I know you're not going to get it because it's from very, very long time ago. You can just...
Cooking?
Jeez. She collected dolls.
What?
I had to throw a hard one out there. there.
Yeah, I should have known that one.
Yes. Let's see if you know this one. This is number 4 here. You're doing good though. What was the second Power Rangers film called?
I don't know.
Hey, stop buzzing.
Power Rangers a Turbo movie. Oh my God. You could have just said Power Rangers the movie and I would have said, you're right.
You ask me any questions about The Office, I'll get them all right.
No, oh my God.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
We're gonna
so hot.
Why? She's so red right now.
I don't like getting things wrong.
They said they're saying on the chat that a lot of these people have blocked that episode out of their mind because it was creepy.
Oh,
it was creepy.
Okay, so I thought they were gonna say they're blocking me.
No, they're not gonna block you. Here's your last one.
Cancel culture nowadays is
cancel
really
culture
scary,
is real,
yes,
especially yeah. Here's the last one. Can you name your cast members their names on the show? Not their actual real names, but their names on the show.
The characters' names? Okay, Oli Akana, Amelia Jones, Zato, I don't think he has the last name, does he? Ion, Harvey Garcia, Izzy Garcia.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen.
If I got that one wrong, I would have cancelled myself.
You would have. That's what I was, and you know, the funny thing is that, you know, in that moment, you could be like, oh my God, and just completely fail and be like, yeah.
There you go. Breathe.
That was good. Good redemption. Ladies and gentlemen, how did she not know the second Power Rangers movie? One of the greatest ones. Oh God. So sad.
Winning isn't everything, guys. Okay.
No.
Wow.
You tried.
Well,
right.
I don't know, Anaboko. Does Solon count? I didn't specifically say.
100% Solon counts.
Oh, so now you get a.
That's fine.
No, we're gonna buzz you.
Wow, one more time. There it is.
I am so glad that I took the chance.
That accurately represents my life.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, and let me tell you a little bit about how this interview came about. I went and I shot my shot and I hit her up on Twitter. Yeah, it was Twitter.
Yeah.
And
you're really good at this.
I do this sometimes on the weekends. And you know, luckily right around that time she got on Power Rangers Playback. We started talking and then she was like, oh wait, yeah, I remember you. And then we did this and I thought it'd be a great idea to, have her here on the show and kind of just talk about, you know, everything that, you know, her story. Like, it's not easy coming up as an actress in this world. It's hard. And I don't think people don't understand that. Like, it's hard for, anybody who wants to do, to be a filmmaker, a director, anything like that. It's extremely hard to get in because, you know, in these positions, people are there for a very long time. You're not really working.
I was lucky.
Yeah.
Like,
well, not you. I'm just saying, like, in the back end.
I had to wait. No, but like I felt like I had to wait a long time to get the role that I wanted, a role that I really, a big role in anything. It felt like I had to wait forever. But actually, in the scheme of things, when you look at some other actors in the industry, successful actors in the industry, they had to wait 10, 12, 15 years of just grinding and working and, doing 100 other jobs. And they're not, they're like 30, 40 before they get their first role. And so I consider myself pretty lucky.
Yeah,
to have been
I'm extremely I've been extremely happy with that I'm doing so much, and even though it's not at your level, I feel like everything that you've done has chipped away to get to where you're at now, and I feel like maybe one day, hopefully, even if I get one shot at something out there, I can do it too. If everyone just puts their time and effort into something without expecting it to be given to them, like today's culture where they just feel like, hey, I'm God's gift to the world. Sometimes I'm not, don't cancel me, friends, but there's people out there that do that.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so it's like, it's really cool to hear your story. Really cool. Before we end the show, what's in the future for Tessa? What's going on now? The season, your show wrapped, like I've kind of, seen a lot of the Beast Morpher actors go forward and do other stuff, like Abraham's did Saved by the Bell and so forth. I love him to death.
So great.
He's amazing. What are your next steps now? Where are you going?
Well, there is something possibly in the works for next year. Not anything 100% set in stone, and not anything that I can talk about, unfortunately. But that's something that I'm, holding out for and looking forward to if it happens. After that, I just want to get back to the States, if I'm really honest with you. I love my country. I love New Zealand. Shout out to New Zealand, best country in the world. But my time in LA doesn't feel like it's over yet. And I'd really love an opportunity to get a visa and come back to LA, start some, set up some roots there and start auditioning for some stuff over there. Would be really cool.
Now, how does that work for you? You would have to do a working visa to come out here?
Yeah, there are a couple of different avenues you can go down. The most likely one is an O1 visa, which is like a working visa specifically for an area in which you are succeeding in. Or have a specific talent or skill in. So yeah, I mean, in terms of my career, I'd love to do both, something like a sitcom type show, comedy. I mean, I'm obsessed with like all the sitcoms: New Girl, Parks and Rec, Office, Schitt's Creek, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Community, Mindy Project. There's so many of them out there, and they're all so good. So I'd love to do something like that, and then I'd also really, really love to do something like a bit more serious. With a kind of heavier subject matter, maybe something to do with crime or medicine or law or something like that. A Jodi Picoult book.
Do you want to be the dead girl number 3 on Law and Order?
Look, I wouldn't say no. Law and Order, man. A lot of careers have gone through Law and Order, even as dead girl number 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll be coming back. The original 13.
You're talking about almost over another show that's been around for over 20 years. Let's do it. Have you ever?
It was one of my quiz questions, and I got it wrong. It was, what's the longest running American? Like, which one of these is the longest running? And I didn't guess Law and Order, and it was Law and Order.
Yes.
Thanks, Alex.
You know what? I keep saying I'm going to drive over to his house and beat him up. I think tonight's the night.
Do it. Tonight's the night. Take some of those lights from behind you and
just wrap them around my neck. Violence. Thank you very much.
Not the answer. Never the answer.
Before we let you go, like I said before, I'm really happy that you came on the show. Glad that you are doing so much and moving forward with your career. Hopefully you do come out here. That'd be great. There's so much.
I will. I am.
Yes. Oh, great. So we can't wait to have you back. It's what I'm trying to say. I'm sure the world here is waiting for Tessa, to come in and take over and do what she does best. Are you thinking of perhaps ever doing something for yourself in the sense of like maybe writing, or are you not into that part of the world?
Oh, yeah. Would love to direct one day. I've dabbled in directing like theater and stuff, loved it. Definitely want to write. I mean, that was one of the things I first learned when I went to college was if you don't see a space for yourself in this industry, write yourself into it, create that story for yourself and then make it. And so that was kind of something that from that point on, I was like, right, well then I don't necessarily feel like I see myself a lot on TV. Mindy Kaling was one of the first actresses that I felt that way about, where I was like, hey, that's the closest representation of me as a half Indian, half New Zealand European, half Caucasian young woman who isn't a stereotype, doesn't have an Indian accent, isn't necessarily that knowledgeable about as much of her culture as she might want to be, like that kind of thing. So yeah, I don't know. Does that answer your question?
No, yeah, that's perfect. Because see, when I was going to school for film, like for me, it was like, hey, there's a space for creators out there that are really taking this seriously, right? You got your YouTubers and you have your content creators on TikTok. Everyone has a little space, but I always feel that the spirit of the independent director, independent filmmaker, independent editor is there. And I've worked with so many amazing independent and featured directors and so forth. And I'm in love with this business. Like truly, I eat, breathe, enjoy it so much. And I actually wrote something and I haven't even put it out there yet, but just because like in the sense of like, hey, here, read this. But I had this like pretty cool like little love story. Because I was like, I wonder if I could dabble. Because, you want to express yourself in other different types of writings. And I was just like, I called it Once Upon a Time in Jersey. I haven't found...
I'm so sorry. Give me 1 second. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no.
My laptop's about to die. Laptop's about to die.
Ladies and gentlemen...
That's why I came out. I'm here. Sorry. Carry on with your story. I'm so sorry. I got the notification that my laptop was at 3%. And if I didn't, I was like, it's charging, but it wasn't. Sorry. Okay, go.
No. I'm just saying she.
Please. I'm so sorry.
Make me play it down, Alex.
But yeah.
Okay.
So like you just said, right? Like kind of like go into different types of the film in the world. So I wrote something called Once Upon a Time in Jersey. Haven't seen it done anywhere else. I haven't seen the name anywhere else. And I was just like, man, I'm going to roll with this. We have New York City. We have a lot of spots here in Jersey. Like it'll be really cool. And I was thinking like, man, we need to get some fire people behind it. So Tessa, I'm going to get a budget together. And once you get out here to LA, we're going to give you a Jersey accent. Well,
hey, I'm an accent. I love accents. I love dialects. I'm a fan. So maybe I should start working on that one.
Yeah, we'll have Mama Smiley be like a gangster from the city who whacks somebody. Like it'll be dope. It'll be cool.
Yes.
It'll be cool.
Can we get in a physical altercation?
Yeah.
Can we have a moment of just getting really up in each other's face and just?
And I just want to be like the Puerto Rican guy who fixes cars and stuff, the mechanic. Hola mi gente, ¿cómo estamos? Vamos a limpiarte, el carro, que si esto, que si lo otro. Stuff like that. So
you should have done the entire interview.
I should have. Tessa, bienvenidos a Into the Morphin Grid. Estamos aquí con Tessa Rao y vamos a hablar de Power Rangers Dinofury. Bueno, ¿cómo te sientes?
No habla español, señor.
I love Mama Smiley. All right, Craig, can I get a guest role in this? So yes, Craig, you guys are all in it. Alex, oh my
Obviously.
God, really? Yes. So Tessa, thank you again for joining us here. Just, it's incredible. Thank you so much for being, one of our, interviews coming back. This is our season 3 we're a couple episodes in, but our season 3 premiere of Into the Morphin Grid. So it's really fun to have you here and talk about not only the show, but what you're doing and everything that's coming in the future. Thank you for answering the fans as well.
The pleasure was all mine.
Who are
honestly.
here to watch you. If any of you guys want to watch this back, we will be uploading it in its entirety to our YouTube page, and I'll put it out there. So just all of our links are here in Twitch somewhere, down, left, right, up, and down, and also on the chat. Tessa, you want to give your socials, P.O. Box? I don't know what you have that do you like fan mail?
that will come. I'm gonna look up my social.
She doesn't know.
I don't want to get it
Guys,
wrong.
her Twitter handle is @Tessa Rao _, and her Instagram.
Is it the
Yeah. It's
yeah. So Twitter's Tessa Rao _, Instagram's Tessa _Rao, RAO, TikTok's @Tessa Rao.
I think so too. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just type in Tessa Rao and you'll find me.
Yeah. And Gamer, I'll get that request out for you, my friend. Yeah. So I want to thank you again. A couple of applauses here in the building for you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to another great episode here of Into the Morphing Grid. We hope we have you back again sometime soon, Tessa. It'll be great to kind of pick up the story wherever you go and whatever you're doing in the future. So that'll be great. So so guys, Mama Smiley, I'm gonna let you do what you do best, Mama Smiley. I'm gonna let you get us out of here.
All right. Well, thank you again, everyone, for joining us.
You're lucky I don't have drops today, Mama Smiley. I'm sorry, but it's a tradition. You know I'm gonna have to interrupt you.
And you always interrupt me. Always.
Sorry, Mama. All right.
I was going to say, you're like, go ahead. And then as soon as she starts, you're like, hold on a minute.
Every week, the same thing happens.
I'm muting myself. Goodbye.
Goodbye. All right, everyone. Thank you again for joining us for another episode of Into the Morphing Grid, brought to you by Fresh Record Deductions. Thank you to our special guest, Tessa Rao, for joining us tonight, or today early Saturday afternoon for her. Don't forget to come back again next Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Also keep up to date with everything going on in the Discord. Enjoy the rest of your night. Have a great weekend. Stay safe, and may the power protect you.